All right, let's get back into it. Welcome back to the circle. Today we're looking at a way to patch the bugs in our most intimate connections. We're talking about upgrading the software of our desire by understanding the hardware of our attachment.
And how to stop the system from crashing when things get heavy.
I'm just here for the part where we learn how to stop the internal screaming. My brain is currently a collection of unpatched errors.
Join the club, Paco. I'm just here to see if this book finally explains why my body decides to shut down the moment I actually want to be present.
Well, let's dive into the text. We're picking up right in the middle of a conversation. A friend of the author, is giving some pretty radical advice. They suggest stop having sex. Make it a rule, no sex for a month.
A month? That sounds like a nightmare.
Wait. Let me read the reasoning. They say the stress of life is hitting the brakes. Remember that concept from our last session? And the bonus worry about feeling like you should be having sex just makes the brakes slam on even harder.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, look at me. If I'm already stressed about my back or my ankle, and then I feel this pressure to perform, my entire nervous system just exits the building.
Exactly. The author is saying the goal isn't to end the sex life, but to change the context. They're trying to remove the performance anxiety that comes with feeling obligated.
It's like, if you can't fix the engine while the car is speeding down the highway, you just pull over into a safe driveway first.
Yeah, but the person in the book is like, we go away together and just get mad at each other. I cry all the whole time and we get busy. And the advice is still stop. It feels so counterintuitive.
But look at what the author says right after. She says, stop stressing about the fact that stress is hitting your brakes. Accept it. Welcome it.
Welcome the stress? That's easy for a book to say.
But she's connecting it to something much deeper here. She moves from the specific no sex role into the concept of attachment style.
Right. This is where the software comes in. The idea that who we are in relationships, how we cling or how we run, is programmed in childhood.
And it's all about whether the caregiver was reliable. If they show up when you cry, you're secure. If they're inconsistent, well, you're insecure.
Which leads to the two archetypes we all know too well, the anxious and the avoidant.
Let's look at the anxious description. It says they cope with the risk of abandonment by clinging desperately. They experience intense separation distress.
And then there's the avoidant. They cope by not attaching seriously. The text even says they're more likely to approve of anonymous sex.
Ouch. That's a heavy way to say safe.
But here's the kicker. The research shows that secure attachment isn't just about being nice. It's the literal engine of sexual well-being.
Yeah, the author lists it: more positive emotions, higher levels of arousal, better communication, and more frequent sex.
So if you're secure, you're basically winning at life?
Not exactly winning, but you aren't fighting your own biology. But look at what happens to the anxious type. This is a huge claim in the book. They use sex as solace sex, using it as an attachment behavior to try and find closeness.
And that makes sex intense without making it pleasurable.
Exactly. It's high intensity, high drama, but low satisfaction. They're trying to use a physical act to fix an emotional void. It's like trying to patch a server error by just sending more traffic to it. It just crashes the system harder.
In the avoidant types, they experience sex as less connected with their lives. It's just there, like a background process you forgot to close.
So, if we're all stuck in these loops, how do we actually do anything? We can't just rewrite our childhoods by Tuesday.
Well, the author offers a patch. It's called the sleepy hedgehog model.
A sleepy hedgehog? What? Do we just find them in our pillows?
Pretty much. She says, treat your difficult feelings like sleepy hedgehogs you find in inconvenient places. When you find one, say, a feeling of jealousy or shame, don't run.
Step 1. Find out the hedgehog's name. Just label it. I am feeling hurt.
Step 2. Sit peacefully with it. Don't judge it. Don't yell at the hedgehog for being in your chair.
And step 3, listen to its needs. Ask what will help.
And the most important part, John and I think this hits home for enough for you, is that the help is entirely voluntary. It's not your partner's job to fix the hedgehog. It's your job to let the feeling discharge and complete its cycle.
It's about creating safety for the emotion to just happen. To let the cycle finish so the brakes can finally release.
I might try sitting with a hedgehog tonight. If I can find one that isn't as loud as my left eye twitching.
One step at a time, Paco. One step at a time. Okay, let's get back to the hedgehog. Because there's this really vital piece of advice here about how to actually use this tool with a partner.
It's about more than labeling the feeling for yourself, right?
No, it's about presenting it. The author says you have to communicate the feeling and the need. Like, instead of just withdrawing, you say, I feel threatened by the time you spend with your coworker, and I could use some kind of plan that will give me reassurance.
Or, I'm still hurting from that thing you did, and I need space to walk through this emotional tunnel so I can find the light at the end.
See, I tried that with a hedgehog once. I just yelled, "Sleepy hedgehog," at my roommate.
And the author is basically saying, don't do that. You can't just shove the spikes into your partner's lap and expect them to deal with it.
Exactly. It's your hedgehog. If you're calm, you're less likely to get hurt or hurt them. It's about making the difficulty something you both collaborate on.
Speaking of things being thrown at people, hey, I'm coming!
If that's the universe delivering more bad news, tell it we're busy.
It's just the delivery guy. I ordered those extra spicy chips.
Go, Paco. Secure your snacks. We'll be here.
Okay, I'm back. The chips are safe. Now, where were we? The hedgehog's spine?
We were talking about healing, and the author makes this really profound distinction here. She talks about a friend who left a bad relationship and said, I choose to hurt no.
That sounds so empowering on Facebook, but she's saying it's actually a mistake?
Right. From an attachment perspective, it's a mistake. You can't just delete the data. You have all this pent-up rage, grief, and fear that has to be allowed to discharge.
I choose to allow the hurt to heal.
Exactly. She compares it to a broken finger. You can't choose for the bone not to hurt while it's mending. You just have to trust the process.
That's so much more compassionate than just trying to snap out of it.
But then she brings up this weirdly cool concept, tend and befriend. Like a marriage between stress and attachment.
It's fascinating. She says as an ultra-social species, we don't just fight or run, we collaborate. And she notes that women, specifically, might be more likely to use this affiliate response dealing with threats by connecting with others.
Which brings us back to the software problem. We want to connect to feel safe, but the social rules tell us to shut it down.
This is the part that actually made me stop and think. The author says modern culture forces women to be the managers of relationships.
Like the emotional shock absorbers.
Exactly. She says when things get tough in a relationship, it often falls to the woman to rein in her own stress response just to create space for the man to feel his feels.
So she's essentially being told to swallow her own brakes so he can drive?
Yeah. And because she's holding on to that uncompleted stress cycle, holding it in so she stays socially appropriate, she becomes the one who gets stuck. Her sexual interest and response are the ones that suffer most.
Wow. That's a heavy way to look at being the bigger person.
It's not even being the bigger person, Paco. It's being a structural component of the relationship's stability at the cost of your own biology.
She even blames Charles Dickens. She mentions Mrs. Cratchit, who hides her grief because she doesn't want to show weak eyes to her husband.
And the author is just yelling at the book, Lady, your child died. It's not weak to cry.
I love that the author is officially a fan of messy emotions.
Because the home, we need the place where we can actually discharge. The stress is a place where we can experience the full range of intensity. Anger, fear, shut down, and receive a loving presence that doesn't judge.
A place where you don't have to be appropriate. Just present.
Man, I think I need to go find a dog, or a god, or just a very non-judgmental bag of chips.
We're all just looking for that home, Paco. We're all just looking for home. Okay, let's pivot. We've talked about the heavy stuff, the attachment, the stress, the hedgehog management, but the author, Emily, brings us to a place that feels much more visceral. She uses this metaphor of a garden.
And it's more than a pretty picture. She says when trauma happens, it's like someone snuck into the garden and ripped out all the plants you worked so hard to grow.
Typical. Someone breaks in, ruins the landscaping, and you're left staring at a patch of dirt and a pile of debris.
But she doesn't leave it there. She talks about this friend, Merritt, who literally stops the author in the street to share a poem. It's a Rumi poem.
Oh, I love Rumi. Is it one of those everything is one vibes?
It's about a quest. The poem says, the water of life is here, I'm drinking it, but I had to come this long way to know it. And Merritt's interpretation is, love is the water of life.
That is so beautiful. It's like, the resource was always there, you just had to navigate the terrain to find it.
But look how Emily uses it to ground the science. She takes that water and rain and applies it to our previous discussion. She says if female sexuality is the garden, then love is the rain, and stress is the even the sun.
And we all know what happens when the sun stays out too long.
Exactly. Too much sun, and the garden wilts. But she goes further. She starts describing individual gardens based on the biological hardware we talked about earlier.
Like Olivia, who has a sensitive accelerator. Her garden is like a desert full of Joshua trees and heat-loving plants. She thrives in the sun, but even for her, too much heat causes a wilt.
So, some of us are just built for the heat. I mean, I'm more of a tropical rainforest guy. Lots of humidity, maybe some unexpected thunderstorms.
And then there's Camilla, who is the opposite. Her accelerator is less sensitive, so her garden is a shady, mossy forest. It needs less light, more stability.
But then you get the real tragedy. She mentions Merritt, whose brakes are so sensitive that even a mild drought makes her garden wilt. And then there's Lori.
Right. Lori's garden feels like it's facing global warming. The climate is changing faster than her plants can adapt, and she's terrified that if the garden dies, she'll lose her partner.
That's such a heavy weight to carry. The fear that your very ability to be you is tied to the survival of the relationship.
It's like the software is constantly trying to patch itself against a changing environment, but the hardware is just stuck.
But then, we get to the software update moment. The author tells this story about Johnny and Lori. Remember, they had decided to stop having sex to reduce the pressure?
Okay, let's see if the no sex experiment actually worked, or if they just ended up roommates.
It actually opened something up. Because there was no, are we going to do it tonight? Anxiety, they just sat in the silence. And Johnny said something to her. He didn't say you look great or I love you. He just said because you are beautiful.
Oh, my heart.
That's a heavy hitter. You are beautiful. Not you look beautiful, just the state of being.
But wait, the text says Lori burst into tears.
Because she realized how much self-criticism she was carrying. She was looking at her imperfect, parts the droopy boobs, the squishy tummy, as if they were moral failures. Like having a baby was a paltry thing that ruined the garden.
It's that shame we talked about. The idea that your body is failing a standard of perfection that doesn't even exist.
And Johnny, he wasn't just ignoring it. He was actually touching those parts and saying, I love that though.
He was reclaiming them. He was saying his body is their body. Your belly is our belly. And this is the most important part of the whole chapter. The mind-blowing sex they had afterward wasn't because they broke the rules, but because they were whispering, we aren't supposed to be doing this.
The forbidden element, the pressure of the supposed to, actually worked in reverse.
Exactly. The supposed to usually acts as a brake, but here, the rebellion against the social norm actually helped them bypass the shame.
It's a glitch in the social programming.
It is, and she wraps this all up with this incredible biting critique. She says we are being raised in a sex-negative world, where we are given all these no messages, fear of disease, shame, stigma, but then, the moment we turn 18, we're expected to be sexual rock stars.
Yeah, the expectation is uninhibited and multi-orgasmic immediately. No training, no manual, just...
It's like being handed a high-performance racing car and told to drive on a track made of ice without even being told where the brakes are.
And that, I think, is the bug in the system. The culture plants the weeds and then blames the garden for not being a pristine meadow.
Well, I guess we should go check our gardens for weeds.
I'm just checking mine for more chips.
One step at a time, everyone. One step at a time.
If you're going to keep analyzing the weeds, Seth, I'm going to go find a real one to pull.
Everyone, let's just take a quick second hands behind your heads, a simple heart opener stretch.